Whoa! We could hang out here for 8 to 10 minutes. Or we could play a live game of Clue in this place. What do you think? Who murdered Jake? And then I just never come back. He did already pay us, so you don't have to be good at this. I just saw someone look at me like, yes, you do. All right, if that gets knocked over, there's no one. Just everyone act like it did, okay? Gonna be high energy. I was in a car for 45 minutes. That's too long for Jake. I've peed 3 times since I've been here. My friends today, they asked me if I wanted to go to Canada to a butterfly conservatory. I said, yeah, I don't even know if I can still get into Canada, but let's go. So we get to Canada. The Border Patrol officer only looks at me out of the 4 of us when he asks if we have any drugs, alcohol, or tobacco in the car. I said, no, we don't have any drugs, alcohol, or tobacco in the car. He goes, well, why are your eyes red? I'm like, because I took all of our drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. I'm fucked up right now, man. And then he's like, well, you look nothing like the person in your ID. The picture and the person you look nothing alike. I go, that is great news to hear, officer. Because your boy's trying not to match a police sketch in Chautauqua County right now. So we went to secondary inspection. In secondary inspection, they don't ask you questions. They inspect your butts. And since the last time I've been to Canada in secondary inspection, because look at me, I've been in secondary inspection. They don't wear gloves anymore. They have budget cuts. Budget cuts. They have sharp fingernails, get paper cuts. Did you know? I found out you can't bring your own butterflies to the butterfly conservatory. Crazy. The authority, they don't like me very much. I went to a self-checkout at the grocery store the other day. Went to a self-checkout, 20 items or less, and the attendant comes up to me, counts my items in front of me, counts them. Says, oh, you have too many items. You have 22 items. And they go, what are we going to do about this? I was like, oh, we're going to pretend it never happened. Thought that was the right answer, you know? They're like, nope, pick something. I'm like, what, to get rid of? I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was, in my head, I'm like, well, there's 9 items you don't know about right now. So I just complied. And I don't look like I should be paying for things with $100 bill. I don't look like I should be paying for things with $100 bill. That's why every time I do pay for things with $100 bill, I crack the joke. I go, oh, I just printed this one fresh this morning. So I did that, and that's how I found out my Wegmans has they have their own holding center. It's crazy. They strip searched me, and they used a produce bag. I'm like, that's not a grapefruit. It's my fucking prostate. Oh man, give it up for GoArt. They have NA beers. I go, hey, can I get an NA beer? Can I get an NA beer? And he goes, you can have NA beer that you want. Anything that you want. And then he suggests a better one than I picked. And he's like, but there is 0.5% alcohol in here. I'm like, isn't that all of them? And then I was like, just answer me this, man. Could you give this to a kid? And he's like, yeah. I go, then my sponsor won't be mad. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's the same thing as juice. I don't drink anymore. My friend the other day. By the way, I think that's how we solve all of our problems. NA beers, non-alcoholic. I think we just need to make non-alcoholic heroin. Non-alcoholic heroin. Perfect time for the mic to cut out when I say non-alcoholic heroin. And that'll just fix everything. Anyways, I don't drink anymore. And my buddy the other day, he goes, oh, wow, I didn't notice. Like, how long has this been? I go, it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years. He goes, I didn't notice. I didn't notice. I go, is that because I still piss my pants at the end of every night? It's a time management problem. Time management. Oh my! I've been seeing this woman, dating this woman, and she has this tattoo. She just got this tattoo. It's the date that her family came in the 90s. They left Bosnia. There was a genocide going on. They escaped. They're refugees. You know, have been here for a long time. She got this beautiful tattoo to commemorate it. And I actually just got a tattoo yesterday of an alien hitting a bong. Yeah. I don't give a shit about anything anymore. Alien hitting a bong, and it was pretty crazy because I told I've been going to this guy for over 10 years, and I told him what I wanted. It was the first time he ever laughed. He knows I do this. He's even seen some of my material. First time he laughed when he goes, "Oh, you're gonna put that on your body? Okay, all right." And then I swear to God, I was sitting there. He's tattooing me, and the phone rings, and the other artist answers the phone, and she goes, "Hey, Joe, this woman's calling about your appointment on the 15th of next month. The guy, David, he passed away." And he's like, "Oh, you know, send my condolences." Whatever. Hangs up the phone. I hope the mic does not cut out during this part. Talking about a dead guy. And he, you know, she handles it well, hangs up the phone, and she goes, "Okay, do you want me to cross his name out in the book?" And he looks at her and goes, "He might change his mind. Leave it." And I was like, you know what? Joe should be doing this instead of me tonight. Joe's a funny guy. Joe's a funny guy. It was funny. It was fun. I was like, "Joe, has anyone ever canceled on you for dying before?" He goes, "Actually, yes. There was this guy, Cancer Jim. He goes, he survived cancer 3 different times. Didn't change a thing. You know, survived lung cancer, prostate cancer, fucking colon cancer. Survived it all." He goes, and then I get a call one day. They're like, "Hey, Cancer Jim died." I go, "Oh, was it the 4th time?" He goes, "No, heart attack." I was like, damn. You just never know, you guys. My mom, I told, you know, I have a lot of tattoos, and my mom was like, "You know, the only way you could really disappoint me is if you put a tattoo on your neck or your face." I was like, "Oh, Mom, I thought I would like disappoint you if I got hooked on, you know, hard drugs." And she goes, "Well, we could lie about you being on hard drugs." I was like, "Okay." She goes, "I'm already telling the neighbors you're not on hard drugs." I was like, "All right, thanks, Mom." Mom's a cool lady. I'm always, the older generation, they're sometimes telling me I'm a pussy a lot, you know? Like, "Hey, you know, you probably should have gotten beaten more as a kid," is what they tell me. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe when my mom said, "Jake, stop rubbing your dick on things," I just listened and stopped. Maybe I was just a good kid, you know? And then I think about it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am a little coddled. Maybe I am a little baby. Because to this day, my mom, she still rolls my joints for me, you guys. She does. No one rolls them tighter than Jackie. Actually, for a while there, I was going through hard times. I had, while I was doing comedy, I had like two other jobs. One of them was super easy. I worked at a deli and just had to ask people how much they wanted of something all the time, right? At a deli. And this one lady threw me off. She came in and she was like, "Can I get 100 grams of provolone? 100 grams. 100 grams. I go, "Shit, 100 grams. I'm like, "Which job am I at right now?" It was a quarter pound. I did the conversion. She was Canadian. Did the conversion. Gave her her cheese. I was like, shit, I'd make so much more if I was at the other job. The decimal and the 425 would be over a couple other ways. I was a terrible drug dealer too, you guys. I offered a BYOB policy, bring your own baggie. People hated that. Walking out with drugs in their hand. And this one time, it was pretty crazy. I went to drop some drugs off, and he said, "Hey, I went through the wrong part of the house. I went through the back door. I was supposed to go through the back, went through the front. Ruined a surprise party. I ruined a welcome home party. Ruined a welcome home party. It was, and the guy comes home, and he's like, "Oh, Jake, you're here at my welcome home party?" And he's like, "Jake, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, I brought the cake. I brought the cake for the party. Jake brought the cake. Perfect." He goes, "Oh, is there anything special in the cake? Any special ingredients in the cake, Jake?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a special ingredient." He goes, "Is there weed in the cake, Jake?" I'm like, "Buddy, this is your welcome home party from rehab." "No, there's not." I'm like, "Meet me in the bathroom, though. It's a funny story." Jake. He's like, well, what's the special ingredient? I was go, it's friendship, buddy. Friendship. No, he did not. He came back from rehab. I was the guy who had to tell me I had to go to rehab too. I was like, which you don't want that if I'm the one telling you, hey, you gotta go to rehab. I was just talking to a girl today about what I thought were clothing brands. We were talking about clothing brands. I thought we were talking about prescriptions. I was like, man, I once did a bunch of H&M at a Modest Mouse show once. I was like, holy shit. But no, he came back from rehab, and he came back with a nose piercing. I was like, what happened in the 30 days you were there that you got a nose piercing? He goes, oh man, it's all figured out now. If I try to do cocaine, it just shoots out the hole in my nose instead of going to my brain. So speaking of which, I'm going to go get my nose pierced. You guys have a great rest of your night. Give it up for Frank.